I wanted to do this video this morning based on what I'd heard on TalkSport this morning with Gabby Agbonlahor. Once again, praising Steve Bruce to the hilt and basically throwing all of our players under the bus, saying it's all their fault that's what's going on at Newcastle United. Well, let's put him right on a few things, shall we? This is the Toon review. Hi everybody, my name's Paul, back again with another video on the Toon Review YouTube channel, and really I wasn't going to do a video today, but I thought, well, I may as well catch up on the latest news at Newcastle United, and especially what's going on with Steve Bruce. Now, first of all, like I said in the intro there, I heard Gabby Agbonlahor on the radio this morning talking absolute bullshit about Steve Bruce, yet again, praising him and how good of a manager he is, and it's basically the players that he sends on the field that aren't doing the job. Well, let's put him right on a couple of things, shall we? Yes, the players need to take a bit of responsibility for what's going on the pitch. There is no doubt about that, and all the fans are agreed with that. The effort against Brighton wasn't there. The motivation wasn't there. The desire wasn't there. Nothing was there at the Brighton game. But you have to also spin that on the manager and think, how is he sending these players out? You know, has he lost the dressing room? Which we do believe that he actually has lost the dressing room. So the players just aren't going to be motivated. Now, this is a problem where manager and player relationship breaks down. It's completely broken down at Newcastle United to the point where, you know, the players don't want to play for him. There was reports on Monday that, you know, at least 6 senior players had approached Charlie about Steve Bruce and said enough's enough, this can't go on. As usual, that fell on deaf ears with Lee Charlie because he's a waste of space anyway. And they don't care, quite clearly don't care. But when you've got ex-players like Agbonlahor coming out and saying that, you know, Steve Bruce is not to blame for this mess we're in, let's have a look at it. The tactics that he plays, Gabby Agbonlahor, are absolutely dreadful. The worst tactics that we've ever seen from a Newcastle manager in a very long time. And that's saying something given the garbage that we've had over the years. Okay? So the formations are completely wrong to accommodate the players that he has available. You know, when he was playing 4-3-3, he had ASM, he had Wilson, and he had you know, Murphy or Fraser on the other side, or whoever it may be, Joe Linton, but it suited those kind of players. Almiron as well. All right? So that's why I played that. But when they got injured, he didn't change the formation. He just said, well, you know, I've been playing with this formation, I'm not prepared to change it. That's bullshit, that he's not prepared to change it. You know, you have to as a manager. You have to accommodate the players that you've got available. And those players that he had available were much more suited to a 4-2-3-1. Every fan can see it, apart from this numpty of a manager. Right? Yet you've got Agbonlahor coming out and saying absolute tosh like that. I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, these pundits can't make much of a more embarrassing state of themselves than what they're coming out with lately. You know, and then I see on Twitter yesterday some useless reports that Steve Bruce is negotiating a £1.7 million payoff and that he said goodbye to the players. Come on! You know, if you're going to report something decent. You know, yes, there might be some negotiations going on for his release. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? But quite honestly, I think if that was going to be done, it would have been done way earlier and done now so we could get a new manager in over the international break. So for me, Steve Bruce is going nowhere. But why on earth would Steve Bruce take a £1.7 million payoff when he's due well over probably 10 million if he gets sacked? I mean, it's just ridiculous to report something like that. You know, this man is not going to walk away from the job. You know, he has to be sacked to get him out. And he's not going to walk. He's already said he's not going to walk, and he's already proved he's not going to walk. Because anybody with any dignity and a supporter of the club would have walked out by now. But, you know, I was just starting to come around to some of the pundits, you know, earlier in the week saying, yes, we understand what Newcastle fans are talking about now. This is absolutely dreadful football. You know, but you still got Agbonlahor making an absolute arse of himself on national radio, saying what a wonderful manager Steve Bruce is. Well, if it was that wonderful, Gabby, why has he only got a 10% win record since December? Why have we only won 2 games in 20 matches? I'll tell you why. It's not all about the players, it's about the manager. And the way he sets us up, the team selection, he's got his favourites, because that was clear when he made the substitution for Isaac Hayden on Saturday. He should have brought Longstaff on or Murphy, changed the formation a little bit because he'd have seen how Brighton were all over us and done something about it that way. He didn't. He puts Jeff Hendrick on the pitch, who has been one of the most utter garbage signings that I have ever seen at Newcastle United. And he's up there with a few of them, believe me. So that's the kind of manager we're dealing with here, Gabby Agbonlahor, not some brilliant Premier League manager. I think he's got about a 28% win record in the Premier League. That is the lowest of anybody who's ever managed there. So don't come out on national radio and try and con these Newcastle United fans, because we're past that now. We are past being conned or, dictated to by any pundit saying how wonderful Steve Bruce is. We're long past that, matey. The only fool you're making, you just make yourself look an arsehole. You come out week after week, whenever you're on TalkSport, praising Steve Bruce to the hill. What a wonderful manager he is. You will look back on this in probably months to come and think, God, I was talking absolutely shite. I've made an absolute massive tit of myself on national radio. And that can't be vanquished. That's going to be there forever, Gabby. You're just making an arse of yourself. Jeff Stelling's coming around. Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage, to a degree, are coming round. People are starting to realise how utterly clueless this manager is. And how he can't set a team up. How he can't change a formation throughout a game. He's got no brains on a football pitch to know how to utilise certain players he's got available to him. So where does it end? I tell you where it ends. It ends with the sacking. And I still can't believe that chump is in a job at the minute. I really can't. He's an absolutely inept dinosaur of a guy. I don't care about all this nice guy shite either. You can do one with that because, quite frankly, he lost all the respect of the Newcastle fans when he started the bullshit having a go at us because we can't get in the ground because of COVID to have a go back at him. So let's, try and understand it from the fans' view, Gabby Agbonlahor, instead of just going for your pal Steve Bruce all the time, saying how wonderful he is. He's not. He really isn't, and his stats prove that. So, when you're looking at how he picks his team, how he plays his formations, how he motivates the players. Those are the things that you need to look at in a manager. And he hasn't got any of them. All he's good at is standing on the sidelines with his hands in his pockets looking like a trout. Or a blobfish, or whatever you want to call him. But he is absolutely clueless. So, yes, he's still in a job at the minute, and that'll make you very happy, Gabby Agbonlahor. But I'll tell you something, it doesn't make the Newcastle fans happy at all. It doesn't make the players happy either, because there is something going on with the players and Steve Bruce. They are not getting on, and you can come out with your bullshit saying there's all this unity in the side. No, there's not. And that was clearly evident in the defeat against Brighton. There is player unrest. There is definitely goings-on between players and managers falling out. And we are just a laughingstock of a club at the moment who are heading down into the Championship. That is where we're going. It's not going to change in, overnight. He's given the players 6 days off, which is utterly fucking ridiculous, man. 6 days off after performing like that. You tell me where any other job you would be able to perform like that and get 6 days off. It's pathetic. Steve Bruce is pathetic. And right now he's making Newcastle United look ridiculous. Mike Ashley, you're doing the same. You've had it, quite quietly lately because of what's been going on behind the scenes with the takeover. But you just don't give a shit in our club anymore. You do not give a shit. You leave it all to Charlie. Charlie's not bothered. You just want to keep Steve Bruce in charge. I don't know what the hell this is about, not being bothered about being relegated and stuff like that. But there is a conspiracy going on here that I think Newcastle fans need to be aware of. Instead of keeping us in the dark like mushrooms, tell us something. Give us a reason why you think Steve Bruce is the man to take us forward. Because he's not. We're going down. And we're not coming back up. Unless this inept cabbage is out of the club. But something is going on here. Something does not smell right with Steve Bruce still being in the job. It stinks, in fact. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. If you think there's any sort of conspiracy going on, or what you think of Gabby Agbonlahor's comments this morning about how wonderful Steve Bruce is and throwing all the Newcastle United players under the bus. Yes, some of them have got to take a big responsibility. But the major responsibility is down to the manager and the way he puts our team out. Let's not forget that. So let me know what you think of his comments. And, I'll be back with another video. I'll be talking about England over the weekend. So that should be interesting. I'll be back live with the Four Horsemen of the Toon show, which will be at 8 p.m. on Monday night. And we're also doing the draw for the Newcastle United shirt. Details of that are on my Twitter page. I'll put a link below in the description to let you know how to go about getting yourself onto the PayPal Me site and how much the tickets are, etc. So do check the description out for that. The entries will end at 6 p.m. on Monday, ahead of the 8 p.m. start on the Four Horsemen Show on the evening of Monday. So it's a lot to look forward to. But like I say, I'll be back with another video sometime over the weekend with talking about England. Whether that's any good or not, I don't know. But I want to talk about the way the World Cup qualifiers are set up and everything like that, with like the likes of San Marino and teams like that. Should there be a pre-qualifying before they actually get that far? But we'll talk about that in a future video. But in the meantime, don't forget to leave us a comment. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed what you've seen, lots to come on this channel. Do consider hitting that subscribe button. But in the meantime, guys, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Take care.